How are you? Hi, everybody. I do apologize for being late. I'm having a problem downloading my clips again. So no clips today. We're just going to have to talk about it. So today we're going to talk about, this is a touchy subject. You know, I should know better by now to stay away from the controversial subjects, but I don't do it. I always just jump into the fire. We're going to talk about the Roe versus Wade decision and all of the protests and all of the mayhem that's going on. Then we're going to talk about, oh my God, Black Ink Crew Caesar coming out apologizing for beating the hell out of that dog. Maybe it's a good thing I couldn't download that clip because he just beat that puppy mercifully. And then we're going to talk about Nicky Minaj husband. He wants house arrest. Of course, they don't want that, the opposing side. So we're going to talk about what they want him to spend in jail. And then Jussie Smollett. I missed it. This is like 2 days old. Jussie Smollett going on Sway's show and basically saying the craziest things. He's saying that his time spent in jail was very good for him. It gave him a lot of time to do soul searching. I remember it differently. I remember him doing a lot of whining. Okay, and how he's saying that he still didn't do it. What? Okay, Jussie, whatever you say. But first, before we get into all of that, here's a word from my sponsor. And today's sponsor is Fetch. Is a free and super easy to use app where you earn free rewards on literally anything you buy. Scan any receipt or e-receipt into the app to earn points no matter where you shop or what you buy. And literally, I mean any receipt. For example, I recently took a quick trip to a few stores. All I have to do to be rewarded is use my app on my phone to scan my receipts. And just seconds later, you receive your points into your account. It's really that easy. And if you shop with online retailers such as Amazon, it's even easier. You could have the app scan through your emails for your e-receipts and it will submit them for you. You can then redeem those points for hundreds of different rewards, including Amazon and Visa gift cards. Fetch is even giving away bonus rewards to my viewers. All you need to do is download the Fetch Rewards app and use the code Sharrell when you submit your first receipt, and Fetch will reward you with 1,000 bonus points. It's really that simple. Once again, thank you to Fetch for sponsoring this video. I'm just having problems today with my PC. I don't know what's going on. It's slowing down. Boy, I don't know what's going on. But you know what they say. The show must go on. That means Diva and Perry. Okay, let's bring up Diva first. Hey, Diva.
Hey, Sharrell.
Hey,
What's up,
Perry.
ladies? What's up, ladies? You know what, Sharrell? I'm having the same problem. It's the internet.
Yeah! Perry, you're not going to yell me to death this time. Okay, you are not going to do it. If that's what's going on, I can't get my clips today.
No.
Andrea.
That was happening to me because it started. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
It's a bad malfunctioning day. Like, what is going on?
We're gonna talk about just.
Oh, did I freeze?
No, from my end.
From my end. I don't know what's going on. Like,
because my internet's dragging
I like to do it right, people. I like to do it right. Thank you, Andrea. Got my banner up because we're talking about some crazy
some real life shit too now.
Look at this. Jussie who? Bye, Jussie. Bye. Okay. Bye, Jussie.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong. And I needed that clip. But with no clips today, we'll just talk about what's going on. Let's start out with the thing that's all over the news. It's the Roe versus Wade decision.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start out by saying this. This is a very controversial subject.
Mm-hmm.
I have a mixed audience, Republicans. I have a lot of Republicans in my audience. Democrats, Black, white, everybody lives differently. So
yeah.
We just state our opinions and how we feel. No one's right, no one's wrong. These are all opinions, and we're going to state our opinions, but we're not going to fight with each other.
Yeah.
And they're open to say their opinions.
Yeah, everybody's
Mhm.
supposed to
I mean,
replace.
because I get it. Like the whole thing is a very serious thing. Like, I mean, some people saying, well, this and that based off these couple of reasons. Somebody else look at it a different way. But
And I've learned you never argue politics and you never argue religious. You
right,
cannot change anybody's mind. I don't want to change anybody's mind. I like living in a diverse environment.
right,
But
Mhm.
some people want you to see it their way, and it's just crazy. But I am friends with Republicans. I am friends with people of different races.
right.
So we
Mhm.
can have that chat, I think. And if it gets too crazy, then I'm cutting it off.
Cut it
Right.
off.
But it's so I wanted to show you these protests. It's such a historic decision.
Mhm.
It's a
Okay.
life changer
You
for
like
sure.
that? You like that?
It's a life
Uh,
Mhm.
changer for sure. Yeah.
either it's good news for you or bad news for you.
Mhm.
It's a mess. They reversed the decision. They put it back down to the states. So that means whatever state you're in, your governor will decide if you're going to be in a state that allows. Is there
Mhm.
is
Huh?
there is there a correct word for it? Abortions.
Well, no,
Yeah,
that is no.
that's the word.
It's not
Mhm.
a technical term,
Yeah, let's keep
and
it real. That is the word.
yeah, and some that don't. But this is what I have to say about it. And it's all kind of opinion. Some people say, "What man should tell me what to do with my body?" As a woman, I get that. Some people say, "Life is life." That's what some people believe, really
No,
believe.
I get it.
What was another argument out there? Was that they did it in the I think it was the 50s. It was illegal in the 50s. And no matter what you do, people want this option because they're going to do it anyway. Women, they're going to do it anyway.
Mhm.
But they were
Mhm.
doing it with coat hangers. They were
Right.
saying
No,
that.
no, no,
Mhm.
no. No, I get it.
Mhm.
No. And yeah, I mean that's the whole thing though. I mean, like people gonna do it. And then even back then when people said they was against it, just in my opinion, people say when they was against it,
Uh,
the man went out and had a little kid on the side, but made sure it happened.
what?
Okay. I'm saying people would say they're against it.
Uh-huh.
A lot of these people were like politicians don't say, well, I'm against it. But most of them have had their women have one.
Oh, that's
Just
really
keeping it real. I'm just saying that's
well.
my opinion.
Look,
That's my opinion.
it doesn't shock me. A lot of people do things different in the dark than you would the light.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right,
But some
exactly.
yeah.
people it's their genuine core belief.
Mhm.
That's how they feel.
No, I
Mhm.
get it.
So how do we
I get it. It's almost like the
come?
death penalty. Some people agree, some people don't, right?
Yeah.
But a
Mhm.
person who had a family member hurt by one of these people more likely to agree than a person who didn't. So
Which
I'm
is
saying it's different things. Go ahead.
yeah, it is. So I wanted to show you the protest. People are outside the Supreme Court holding up signs, uh,
I mean, because what's
protesting. Huh?
no, I was gonna say because what's next?
Yeah. What's next?
What's
Um.
next?
Yeah.
If you
And you
say
know
take
what?
this away, the rights
Well,
away.
let me
I
tell
mean,
you what's going
go
on
ahead, go
right
ahead.
now and what's on the news. People
Mhm.
are holding up signs. You've got Max, what is she? A congressman, people out there telling their point of view, senators out there telling their point of view. It's one big argument.
Mhm.
Uh,
Right.
the people that are for it, Mike Pence tweeted about it, saying this is a good day.
Hmm.
Uh, what's the ex-president's wife?
And one
What's
of
her
his
name?
ex
Oh my
girlfriend,
God.
one of his
Hillary Clinton is
girlfriends probably
tweeting
had
about
one.
it. Huh?
I said one of his ex girlfriends probably had one too. Look,
You
Mhm.
don't
look, and
know,
I'm telling you
Terry.
this, Terrell, with no proof. I just know
You
how
don't
society
know.
is.
But
Let's not joke.
I'll say this: the people. Now, I'm personally against it. I think you should be able to do with your body what you want. But the
Mhm.
people that truly believe it,
I understand. I
it's
understand.
like you
They looking at it. And they,
talking
okay,
about racism.
okay,
You know how you're passionate about and you
right,
feel that
right.
pain? They feel that pain.
Well,
And mhm,
yeah, you know what, Sharrell? Here's the problem, right? And this is on neutral ground, right?
mhm, mhm,
On neutral ground, this impacts the most the underprivileged, the poor people, the people that don't even really have access now, right?
Mhm.
Because if there's one state that still allows it, and you live in a state that does not, and you're poor, there's no way you're going to be able to get a plane ticket or maybe drive there to get one legally because you just can't even afford healthcare to begin with in the first place, right? And then it causes other problems. So if I'm naturally maybe having a miscarriage and I go into the hospital, now they're going to give me the side eye. Like I tried to do something to the baby because I didn't want to have it. And the law says that I cannot have a termination of my pregnancy.
What you're saying is that if you try to do this illegally, it might not turn out you want, and you might end up hurting the baby, and the baby might have permanent damage because of it.
No, what I'm saying
No, no,
is
no.
that the poor people, the underprivileged people that have no money and don't really have access to health care now, if one state does it and the state they live in does not, they're not going to be able to fly to that state to get it done. Okay. So then also outside of that too, what if I'm just naturally in my house and I'm having a miscarriage? I didn't do nothing to myself. I'm just having a natural miscarriage. Now I go to the hospital. Are they going to accuse me of doing something sinister because in the state that I live in, termination of pregnancy is not legal?
So this is what I don't know. I don't know. And I have to check into this. And if anybody in the chat knows, let me know. So if you get caught doing it, do you get in trouble?
Oh, well, if it's illegal, yes, you are.
Well, if it's against the law,
yeah,
it's going to become a criminal charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say, Sharrell?
With murder.
Right. Yeah.
You're probably going to get charged with murder. So,
whoa, really?
Because if you terminating your baby and it's not legal in your state, yes, you probably will get charged with something like that.
Right.
But in addition to that, if you're going to force me to have my baby, are you going to force that daddy to stand by that baby and take care of that baby? So you're going to change one law and it has a whole trickle effect of many other things. Like, so what else are you going to do? And what kills me is they feel okay telling me what to do with my body, but you're going to save my baby in utero, but when my baby is out here going to the schools, you're not going to save my baby then, because that whole tragedy at that Uvalde school, all of those babies got lives were taken because you okay with people having their right to a gun, but you're not okay with me having the right to do with my own body what I need to do. You understand?
Opposing side here. Maybe you'll think twice before who you sleep with, and what you do, because now the consequences is permanent. Like you gonna be forced to keep the baby. Opposing side, is it instilling responsibility in the people?
Okay. But things happen. Not every sexual encounter is consensual, right?
Right.
So what happens when this happens and you go in there? Are you forced to have a person's baby that violated you?
That
right. It causes a whole
opposing side. Opposing side. There's always an opposing side. It's not that baby's fault. And what if that baby turned out to be your blessing?
Well, okay, but what if it didn't? So I'm saying I get what you're saying. What if, right? And I know you're going, no. I know you're going with the opposing side, right? Because that's why we're here, right? But if you take it from taking women's rights away, what if they start taking men's rights away?
Which they will never do.
Okay, like say,
you're saying it's a woman-man thing. That ain't nobody gonna tell a man what to do with his body.
Right? If they go, well, hey, you know what? You shouldn't have been pregnant. You shouldn't have been doing this. You're going to have this baby. What if a guy went and violated a girl? Are they going to chop his penis off? No.
Exactly.
No. I'm saying, like, he did something wrong, right? No, I mean, and maybe what I just said is not for this whole content. I'm just saying when rights start disappearing, a lot of stuff do. She mentioned guns. Let's not even go with the guns, because that's gonna be one of those things. It's a right we got to defend ourselves, right? But these same people that's worried about this life, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with worrying about somebody's life, but what do you do with a crackhead, right? That's out there snorting crack, doing all this, doing this to himself. What rules do he have? If that
Well,
makes sense.
it's a controversial thing.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. Clarence Thomas, Justice Clarence Thomas came out and said he's glad that, he's he's
Pro-life.
anti.
No.
He's
He's
anti.
pro-life.
He's
He's
glad that
pro-life.
it was overturned.
Mhm.
He voted for it. Cut welfare too. Plan B is available. Okay, now this is the scary part. Plan B. He came out and said he thinks that the Supreme Court should reconsider gay marriages and contraceptives.
Mm-hmm.
They should reconsider his damn marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
love him or hate him, he's on the justice for life.
No. I understand that, but I'm saying he got an opinion as a judge, and I got one as a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Just speak in mind.
Well, here's another thing: is if they overturn Roe versus Wade, will they start doing other things like the gay marriages and trying to make it?
Sharrell, if they keep doing that shit for real, let me keep
Will
it
they?
real, and I'll come on camera for this.
Mhm,
If they keep overturning shit
mhm.
that has
Mm-hmm.
worked for years,
Mm-hmm.
because it's one thing to say you want your rights, but you want to take somebody else's rights, we'll be back in slavery.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. We
Well-
headed in the wrong direction. We headed in the wrong direction. Listen, Sharrell, it's not about whether I agree with the action being right or wrong. What I'm in agreement with is you should have your rights. We all got to answer for ourselves at the end of the day. I ain't judging you. Don't judge me. You understand what I mean?
Mhm.
And here's the thing. Like Perry said, you take away this, what's next. But I tell you what, if every female band together and we stop shopping, we stop doing this, we stop doing that, I bet you they'd reconsider a little something. And Clarence Thomas has the nerve to be saying all of this out the side of his mouth. One, you can't even have he could impregnate somebody now, but the woman is a whole different story, right?
Mhm,
So you're just saying like what we can't do with our body, okay? We're always getting the short end of the stick. We don't get the same pay. We don't get this. We don't get that.
You're saying
And
it's
now
a
on
woman's
top of
equal
that,
right matters.
huh?
You're saying it's a woman's equal rights matter.
100%. 100%. 100%. And now you want to say something that was just put in place. Oh, now since y'all did this, we might as well take back, the gay marriages. What is this? It's who gets married to who? What does that have to do with him? Who is that harming? And you're not going to stop the people from being together. Just because you say they can't legally get married, what are you stopping? You're not stopping nothing.
Right.
They still gonna be together.
I mean, cause what you gonna do? The same people who pro-life, and you see somebody that's together that you don't agree with, are you gonna take them out? So are you really pro-life at
Right.
that point? Right.
Right.
If you know what, nobody told and a long time ago, society builds you up to this point, right? Like, you listen to stuff. Oh, that's wrong. That's wrong. Because even in my earlier years, I was like, well, the gay stuff, I was like, I don't know, because you taught to think it's wrong. I embraced it. People are people.
Mhm.
And as long as they act civil, regardless of what your sexual preference is, that's all that matters, right?
Yep.
So, like, I mean, they chose the person they want to be with. Doesn't everybody have that choice? Or is it just the rich? Just the poor?
Well, it's
What- I
turning.
mean, at a certain point, what is it?
I feel like it's turning into a richer poor society.
Yes, it is.
The gap is growing bigger and bigger, and the rich will have a different life that we'll never have access to. That's what I really think. It's a controversial subject, and people are upset. Go ahead.
You know what also, Sharrell,
Or
here's the
happy.
thing. Yeah, there's some doctors that when they do the ultrasound, they'll tell a woman, there's a lot going on with this baby that is not, and this baby is not going to have like a good
Absolutely.
life, or
Absolutely.
something is going to, or when this baby comes out, the baby is going to XYZ. So there are doctors that currently tell the woman it is in your best interest to terminate this pregnancy. So is that now removed also? So that's what I'm saying. This thing has a trickle effect that is going to impact us in a major way. Now, it ain't my judgment to say, oh, if your doctor told you that the baby's going to come out and not be able to walk, talk, see, this, that, and the other, so you went ahead and did a termination of pregnancy. So now they're going to tell that woman, no matter what, I'm sorry, you got to have that baby.
Opposing side. And this is a true story. I know a girl, and Perry, you know this is true, that's had 7 abortions. She uses it
as birth control.
Right. I get it.
So will this make people more responsible now?
Well, I get that. Okay, I get that part, right? And then on the reversing side, 7 abortions meant 7 babies, right?
And I'm not lying. Am I lying?
Okay, no, you're not lying. But if she would have had these 7 babies and couldn't afford these babies, who's gonna take care of them?
But she's not even being responsible about it. She'll say, I'm going to do this tonight, and if I get pregnant, I'm going to have an abortion.
We can't say every parent going to do the right thing. I'm just saying, who's going to take care of the 7 babies?
I agree with you, Sharrell. There's always, every subject, there's always going to be someone that's going to take advantage, right? There are currently people, you are absolutely correct, that utilize termination of pregnancy, abortion as a form of birth control. We're still not going to, even when you erase this, you're not going to stop that person and correct their behavior, because it is who they are. Do you know what I mean? That's who they are. Just like, so you're not, when you set in a law, you're not really stopping the people that were going to break it or do something against it anyway, right? But this is a little something different where there's so many scenarios. It's not everybody that utilizes that option is not that type of person.
Right.
There are other people where there are serious circumstances where this is an option and they take it, be it right or wrong, whether you think is right or wrong, but they utilize that particular option. And like I said, there are so many where the doctor literally tells them, listen, this baby in utero, a lot is going on. When they come out, their life is going to be horrific.
You're a nurse, so you see the medical side of
right.
it.
And I'm going to tell you the honest truth with me, right? But see, some of the early tests, and I know, like you said, opposing side, people are going to say this. Some of the early tests that they do is not the true story of how the baby's going to come out. So when they did the early testing for me, when I was pregnant with my son, I was considered high risk. I was pregnant with him at 35, okay? And that's dog years for a woman when you're getting pregnant, right? Because they want you to have it under 35. But
hold on, Diva. I'm missing these super chats. I'm so sorry. Sure. It's a shame that the Supreme Court can make decisions about abortion and none of them are in childbearing years.
I agree.
Exactly.
I missed one. I'm so sorry. It went past and then I can't retrieve it. Here's another one that I'm oh my God, I missed a lot. Here's another one. Banning abortions does not stop abortions.
Correct.
I missed another one. It was a $20 super chat from Kathy Johns. Thank you for the $20 super sticker. Sometimes if I wait too long, I will miss them. Go ahead, Diva.
I'm sorry about that. So when they did the blood test and the blood work on me, the doctor told me that my son was going to have Down syndrome and all of this other stuff, right? And was like, what decision do you want to make? I was like, what do you mean? Like, for me, I was like, you know what? Whatever it is, I'm going to deal with, right? But I have no judgment if there's someone else that they're told certain things and they make a different decision. It ain't it's not me to tell somebody else what to do and what they can and cannot handle. The thing is certain things that if a child can never, ever take care of themselves, a lot of these mothers, what their biggest fear is? When something happens to them, what is going to happen to their child? And, right. A lot of these women, they are in counseling, like for life almost, being told, like, don't worry, about, what's going to happen to your child if you happen to pass, when their child is 100% dependent upon the parents. Mm-hmm. So they're asking this, they're doing this, right? It's like they're pushing this agenda, and there's so many other things they can be dealing with right now. Why did you overturn this? Well, I don't get it.
Right. I mean, they can't fix the damn inflation problem, but they're going to fix this shit. Look, for me, I'm just saying this, like, I think it's a form of discrimination, and not black and white, rich and poor, rich and poor, right?
Yeah.
Because most time you say that, people go right to that. Because guess what? I'm telling you, people would say one thing and write a law because they know they got other options,
Yep.
but they will punish your ass because you don't, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then these same people will come back if you had these 7 kids, complain on how you are worthless. And I'm not saying it's right just to use that, but things happen. We get to admit things happen. Just like in their rich world, shit happens. I cheated, she got pregnant. It's not nowhere on the same level as a poor person that could have got assaulted or whatever, right? But they gonna fix their problem.
All right, let's move on. You and Diva are heated. Y'all been
Oh,
talking a half
okay.
hour.
All
All right, sorry.
A half hour. Let's move on. They will just find someone to do it
Yeah.
illegally for them. And then Dom says, the real problem for them is that the childbirth rates are down, especially in the white community. They know the majority will be the minority in a matter of years. That's all this is about. People are reading a lot into it, and that very well can be true. We don't know. It could also be politically motivated, means maybe I don't necessarily believe it, but I don't want to break code with my party. So it's stuff like that. All right, so let's talk about Jussie Smollett really quick, because I got to drop that mic. Everyone's want to talk. So Jussie Smollett gave an interview with Sway and said the most bizarre things. Okay. He's saying that he was telling the truth. He would never lie and disrespect his community, LGBTQ community. He would never do that. He said he had no reason to do that. He had offers on the table. He was on a hit show, and he's not lying. He is telling the truth. And if he wasn't telling the truth, he would be a piece of shit. This is what he said.
Oh, hell no.
Okay. He said that he learned a lot in prison. Now, I seem to remember incorrectly. He kept crying all the time and saying he couldn't be in his cell by himself and that he suffered from claustrophobia. It was a mess. He also said that one of the most important things he learned, he said, when this happened to him, everything that he had, as far as job opportunities, went away, except for the things that he did himself. So he's going to be looking into directing, writing his own stuff, and starring in his own whatever he writes for himself. And it's more important to have experience behind the camera, because nobody could take that away from you instead of just being an actor. Okay.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Look, Sharrell, the whole thing is this. Like, you know what? I mean, he can go with this whole story. He was on a hit show. But the question would be, it's a real small question. It's only a 3-letter word. Is WHY. Why? Why?
I don't know. You think
if you had so much shit going on, Jussie, why?
I talked to Diva about this. We were on the phone, and you think he suffers from mental health issues?
I do. He's delusional.
Wrong.
He's delusional. And you learned something while you was in jail. Wasn't it only like 48 hours or 72 hours?
It was not long at all. It was not long.
He had to be in a padded cell at that. At that point, because you can't take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, you just took a beating and a noose around your neck, but you can't handle going there for 48 hours.
Okay. And who did he learn from? What did he learn? You was crying the whole time. Okay. Had your brother on the outside crying for you. Like, what did you learn? You learned how to get yourself out?
Diva, what he learned is some people believe his bullshit. Yeah.
All right, let me go through these really quick because we are out of time. Bonji says Jussie needs to go get his checkbook and commit another crime. Boy, bye. What happened to his case anyway? He's still out on appeal. They're still appealing it. And that can take a long time. Foxy Noxy says, bye,
Exactly.
Oh, please.
Exactly.
I mean,
bye, boy.
I don't know. Maybe this is another case really quick, is that he knows what he did, but if he ever wants to work in Hollywood again, he thinks never admit it. Maybe that's it.
Well, I
don't know.
mean, whether Hollywood or not, people like that is never gonna admit it anyway,
Mhm.
regardless. Because right now he could be talking to the wall. He ain't gonna admit it. He's a fucking liar, in my opinion. And that's all I got to say.
Yeah!
Oh my gosh. Let's move on to the Kenneth Petty case, Nicki Minaj's husband.
Yeah.
Now we all know we've been dealing with this case for a long time.
Mhm.
That they're saying that when he used to date, before he dated Nicki, he would always register as a sex offender and do what he was supposed to do. So in 1994, he was accused of R-ing a woman, Jennifer Hall. We all know who she is. Did you know that she was one of the first people she gave an interview to was Nosy Ho?
Mm.
Yeah, the first interview she ever gave. But so he's in trouble for that, and then the case starts in a couple weeks. It's going to be a case. I don't even know if we should follow this case because
Who? Just who? Oh no.
Kenneth Petty,
No.
Nicki Minaj's
I mean, 'cause you
husband.
know what though? I ain't got time to follow that shit because the max you really looking at is 15 months. What the hell is that?
So you're not going to follow the case?
No,
I didn't even know what to say. Like, okay, so I guess we're not
I ain't
following.
following a damn thing.
But anyway, they're asking for more. They're asking for jail time, and that's it. And he just should deserve jail time. Okay, let's move
Why?
on.
Because he didn't register, Sharrell? Because he already did time for what he did to her. So
Yeah.
they want to do
Well,
jail time because he
It
didn't
was for the
register.
registering. I guess
Exactly.
what they're saying is basically. I mean, go ahead, Sherelle.
Well, I'm telling her exactly. And I was going to say, if he was an average Joe Blow, he would be serving time for that.
Mm.
So why is because your wife is Nicki Minaj that you're not giving the same treatment? They want to make sure that he's not sentenced to home. What's it called?
House arrest. House arrest.
House arrest because she lives in a mansion with a
A
pool.
luxury home.
Yeah, how's that punishment? So where are you going to
He
say
on a damn resort?
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm
Oh
saying? Got
my
a party,
God.
bowling alley, tennis court, all that shit. But you know what though? I mean, because I used to work for the post office, and that is a real serious thing. They send out these notices every year, right?
Mhm.
And you got to sign for it. If you don't sign for that shit, because they go to the resident that you're supposed to be at.
Mhm.
If not, they come and look for you.
Yeah, it's very serious.
So it's a serious thing. But he had been okay. Now what they were saying is that he had been doing it for the I don't know for the 15 to 20 years before he met Nicki, and they said that that's one reason why they saying no because he can't handle like if he followed the rules all those years, they get with her and she got this big mansion and everything, studio, everything in there. Why did he stop doing it? So that he's gonna avoid the law. Basically, what they trying to say, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. I want to move on really quickly to this Black Ink Caesar's case. Black Caesar. I don't know if you guys seen the video. I'm not even sure if I should show the video.
No.
Okay, so Caesar from Black Ink has been fired from his show on VH1 because there's a video that surfaced, his video footage. So I don't know how it even got out of him beating a dog. Actually,
no. Sherelle, I think the video footage came from his neighbor's door ring.
Okay. From the neighbor.
Yeah.
He actually picked up a folding chair, those metal chairs. I can't show it. I seen it and beat this dog, chased this dog. And so it was really disturbing. I'm not going to show it because it's just violent. Beat him with a chair. And so the video got out and VH1 fired him. Now today he's coming out saying that we didn't see the whole video. His two dogs were actually fighting and he didn't know what to do. And he was just trying to break them up. But it doesn't sound like that when you listen to the tape. He says, "Get your ass over here." That's what he says to the dog. So he got caught basically beating a dog and lost his job over it. But the rumor is that the ratings were low. They wanted to fire him anyway. And so VH1 took this moment to use it against him because they didn't want to renew the show anyway. Either way, Black ink does not exist. I stopped watching this show a long time ago. And also, his lawyer is saying that the video's from a long time ago. I don't know when the videos.
Well, yeah, no. And that's what people saying. They saying that why now that they're taking action. But I think if the contract's coming to an end, or if you feel like the person, you got to give them a raise, their ratings low. Because there's been other things in the past that they saying, why this and not the other things you getting rid of them for? You know what I'm saying? Like he don't get everything. And then on top of that, it's a fake ass storyline anyway.
What's a fake ass storyline?
Him in the tattoo shops and all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I can't with Perry. I can't. Let me drop this link. You are a mess. Diva, did you ever watch Black Ink?
Yes, I did. I used to watch it faithfully. And then, one time when we was in the city, my sister's like, oh, we got to drive by there so we could see the actual shop.
Did you?
Yeah, we did. And so it wasn't open at the time. But here's the thing. Have you ever seen them do a tattoo on that show?
Never.
No. Never. But the one in
what you trying to say?
What's the other one with Ryan?
I just told you the fake storyline.
Yeah. Mag 9.
Tattoo.
Yeah, whatever, the one in Chicago with Ryan. Now you've seen them do tattoos. And then when you did hear about tattoos from Black Ink, they was being sued.
I can't with Diva. I can't. Let's get this conversation
on my
started.
shoulder with a horse. Come on.
Hey, Sebastian, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you guys doing? Happy Friday.
What's
Happy
up? Thank you. Happy
Friday.
Friday.
Hey, Flakes, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing the best I can. How are you guys?
Good, thank you.
Hey, Naomi.
Happy weekend.
Let's start with Naomi today. What do you want to sound off on?
Okay, so I think that them overturning this Roe versus Wade is so crazy because I've been reading up and doing research, and I know most people know how that they legalize suicide, like through doctors and stuff. But a lot of people don't know about the fact that they just changed the legislation that's going to allow people who are just depressed and have anxiety and have mental health issues to legally kill themselves. So to me, it makes no sense how they can overturn someone where a right for somebody's own choice and then allow for adults that are going through mental health issues to kill themselves legally. Like, to me, I think that they want children that are unwanted, that are going to be vulnerable, that they can take advantage of. Because right now, I feel like the biggest commodity in North America is children. Like, that's what they trade as currency.
Let's do the opposing side, Naomi. What about people who say it makes you responsible? And that's a real life at conception.
I get that, but at the same time, like, pregnancy and people having sex have been around since the beginning of time, and that hasn't made anybody more responsible.
She's got a point with that.
To this day, a kid is having a serious thing, and I don't know. I don't know how this is fair.
Do you think it turns into a rich or poor thing?
I think for sure that's what it's going to come down to, because some of the states are going to obviously ban it, and then people who don't have the money to travel are going to end up selling their children on the black market or something. Like,
do you think it'll
Some
be?
states already banned it. Some states, as soon as
it was being banned even before Roe v. Wade was overturned. It wasn't
right when it was overturned, states, I want to say like Mississippi, they already banned it. Doctors are already calling their clients saying, "Hey, you're gonna have to find a different route because we're not going to do it." Like Planned Parenthood is already calling.
I just seen that they denied an 11-year-old girl who was raped an abortion.
Exactly. Like, I'm baffled.
Oh, you seen that?
I didn't see that yet.
Damn. Yikes. Well, listen. The Supreme Court is set, and unfortunately, the people that are for it outnumber us.
I just think it's crazy that they're gonna allow people who are depressed to legally kill themselves, and
that's called assisted suicide, by the way.
Isn't that Congress who's allowing that? That's not the Supreme Court. That's Congress, right?
That's not. Yeah. They should have everyone vote just like a presidential election. Because I bet you, this would not be the situation. If
that's
exactly like a presidential election.
That's how you know it's political, because the majority of the people in the United States do not want it to be overturned, but they are overturning it because of their own political.
Do you ever feel like, Sebastian, we've got Republicans and Democrats fighting, and we're just in the middle? No one's listening to us.
The thing
You feel
is,
like that?
people, this is a moment. I think it's a good thing, because it's a moment for people to wake up and open their eyes and realize something, that our states are not just under one big government. Each state has its own government. It depends on how you vote in those said states. Also, some states might even put it as a constitutional referendum on their ballots, like Florida did for the minimum wage, I think last 2 years, where they put the $15 minimum wage on the ballot and people voted for it. That's what's going to happen also. And we can't side by the fact that abortion was used to make the Black population at a lower rate as it is. Right now, we would have been part of the majority, Black people. We would have been part of the majority if abortion was never instilled in this country.
You think they're using it as population control?
It was being used as population control, but the rates of abortions are very low right now. So
yeah, that's true. It was. That's the original. Like, I'm pretty sure Bill Gates' mom's is
dad.
Like
his dad was affiliated with eugenics, Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, eugenics. His mom.
Say it again. You say it again, Sebastian. What do you mean?
Bill Gates' father was affiliated with Planned Parenthood and Margaret Sanger, who are big eugenicists. If you look at it, why are all Planned Parenthoods are in Black and brown communities? It's because they want to minimize the population of those said communities.
Have you heard that, Diva? Are they all?
I have. There's a lot of talk about that, right? And there was a lot of talk saying that every time, a brown person would come to get advice on, they would give them they would tell them that the main option was to do a termination of pregnancy, but then others, they will offer, why don't you put the baby up for adoption? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Versus saying termination of pregnancy. See, here's the thing, Sharrell, like termination of pregnancy, it's a lot of psychological baggage that comes along with that, right? So I am
Depression.
right. Yeah, it's a lot, right? So it's not that I'm saying my point here is really it's about the person's right. You make your own decision. I'm not here to judge your decision, but I think you should have that right and that option to make your decision.
But Diva, I want to say something too. But like, how do you feel about like there's certain protests that I do not think should be happening. Like, you cannot be going in front of pro-life centers, the pregnancy centers who help women who are going through pregnancies that are very scary and they're underprivileged as their white counterparts. You can't go protest there, and you should not be going protesting at churches who sponsor.
Well, I'm gonna be
not
honest
fair.
with you. No, I'm gonna be honest with you. Listen, just like we're talking about rights, right? You have the right to protest where you want.
You do, but you can't vandalize.
As long as you protest non-violently, right? So even to this day, like in one of the towns that I passed, the only reason why I ended up knowing that it was an abortion clinic is because people would be out there protesting and they would have signs up and everything like that. Before that, I had no clue what that place was. I was made aware because of the people that protest, but all of those protesters, they were non-violent. Right? They was just holding up their signs and saying, to people, they would have signs up saying adoption and whatever else they were saying with those particular signs. I am just pro your rights. You should have the right to do X, Y, Z.
100%.
Your judgment day is going to be your judgment day and mine is going to be mine.
100% agree with you. But also, what about the people who say that we can't allow abortions at a certain time period, like later on in the pregnancy, because some states already have those laws that allow abortion later on in pregnancies?
Right. And then we're folding into a whole nother subject, right? And again, when you're 5 and 6 months and your baby is kicking, we will go down a whole nother path if I get into that conversation, right? So where I want to stay with the conversation is that stop taking away people's rights. And again, the main thing is really, this is about money. Because listen, my rights, when money rules the world, whether we want to talk about it or not, right?
Money does rule the world.
If I got the money, I can go wherever and do whatever. So if it could be 10 states away from me where they do it at, I'm going to book my ticket on a plane and go get it done. But it's unfortunate for those people that don't have the money.
Also, but the thing is, we also have to respect the fact that this was never codified in abortion was never codified into a law. It was never added into our constitution. It was never an amendment towards our constitution. So it cannot be, it's a right societally, but legally it was never a right. The rules are the Senate and the Congress should have made it into a law. So
hold on one second, Sebastian.
Can I-
Anybody in the chat that's is it pro-life?
Pro-life.
That thinks that what happened today was a good decision. If you wouldn't mind, would you come
Sharrell,
up?
I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Okay.
I did want to say something regarding going back to how they wanted to, keep basically a hold on the Black lives. I've been hearing that they push this again because the white population is actually becoming the minority, and a lot of white women has been doing abortions, and so they want to control the white woman, really, which is why a lot of Black women are like, tough, where were you when we were struggling? Now that they're attacking you being a white woman, now you want all of us to rally together, kind of thing. That's also what I've been hearing. That
some people in the chat think I'm pro-life. I'm not pro-life. I'm pro-choice. But I'm also going to call out people who are not voting. There's certain legislators are voting how they should be voting. Instead of crying when things happen, you can't be crying when things happening, but you were never voting. That's what I'm calling out. And you must call out all the members of Congress who say they're pro-choice, but never fought for this to be on the Constitution, or never fought for this to happen. So this is why it's a two-sided thing. They're speaking from both sides of their mouth. The ones who are starting at the protest, like Maxine Waters and the other ones, they're liars because they never actually tried to make sure this was on the Constitution. They're speaking from both sides of their mouths.
Okay, can I get in
Sharrell?
here right quick, please?
Yeah, I was gonna say, let Don talk.
When we need to throw out this term pro-life, because when people say pro-life, they forget about the death penalty. They forget about guns.
Right.
They forget about all of these things except when it comes to babies.
Yep.
So if you're going to be pro-life, you have to be pro-living.
Yep.
So
Agree 100%.
I agree.
they have to get rid of that term. Period.
Is there
So
any
people are pro-life, quote pro-life, until the baby is born.
Yep. That's what I said earlier.
And then they don't know what to do with it.
So
I pulled up some facts. So let's take Mississippi. Mississippi passed this trigger law in 2007. Mississippi is 50th in infant mortality. Mississippi is 50th in childhood hunger. Mississippi is 50th in child well-being.
Hold on. So you're saying, I'm going to assume Mississippi is a
red state.
It's a red state. So you're saying that this law could possibly have benefits?
No, this law is terrible.
Okay.
This is
Mississippi.
You got to look at it's Mississippi anyway. I could go through a whole lot of different laws Mississippi got going on that affect the Black community, the Black and brown.
Exactly.
Not just abortion rights. And when you're talking about abortion, when you're talking about Roe versus Wade, it ain't just abortion.
Yeah, but I just want to stick with this particular topic. So, minimum wage federally is $7.25. Child care is approximately $10,000 a year. So if you're making $15,000 a year and child care is $10,000 a year, how can you afford to have a baby?
Right.
Okay, so let's take it there. Now, if you're going to penalize women for making the choice to say, I can't afford to have this child at this particular point in my life, but then you don't want to provide child care, and then you're not going to give them any Medicare coverage after that baby is born.
Oh my God.
So So then you're going to penalize them with no free childcare, no Medicare coverage to cover all the cost of the baby's health or the mother's health, because the 725 is not going to give them total coverage in healthcare benefits or the child's coverage in healthcare benefits.
Exactly.
So these women don't have, the option right now. And you got the comments saying don't get pregnant, but you're not penalizing the man.
Right.
Come on, that's what I
I was
said
just going to
earlier.
ask you that.
That's
You
what
feel?
I said earlier.
What do you mean they don't penalize the man? Be specific.
Well,
You think
Child support.
the man is planting the
Gary.
seed in the woman, but the woman has a scarlet letter of carrying the seed.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
And the man gets to walk off.
Said earlier, Don,
the
is like,
man
are
gets
you
to
gonna...
walk off.
Right.
Child support is gonna increase. That's what's gonna happen. That's another.
No, what's gonna happen
it's not.
What's going to happen is it's going to be a whole lot of babies left at the hospital that these women do not want, and then the adoption rate is going to go up, and then come on now,
Nina, if it gets to that point,
what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of illegal and dangerous abortion.
Right.
Okay,
well, guess what? Black women have been doing it that way way before I was ever born. They could not even go to a hospital and give birth. So you got to think, my grandmother had 17 children. You know where she had them at? At her home with a midwife, a quote unquote midwife back then. Somebody that just knew how to birth babies.
Right.
Let me balance it out. Don, I want you to answer this question. What about the person that says, you should have thought about these consequences before you got pregnant? Maybe it's going to slow people down and you're going to make smarter, responsible choices. Answer that person.
Well, let's talk about that. So they said this law is about, the law states that you can have an abortion when it comes to rape, but not incest. So you're telling me that your daughter can get pregnant by her cousin or her brother or her mentally insane brother, and you're going to be okay with her having that child?
Right.
Make it make sense to me.
Well, I'm trying to do
right.
that.
And also,
you know what, Sharrell? Let me say this. Here's the thing. I'm not saying that, people are saying, well, who's speaking for the baby? Trust me, I am not for someone just being not responsible and saying, okay, because I got the option to, get rid of this child, I'm just going to remove any responsibility from this. I'm not really speaking to those, because my thing is, someone like that, a law is not going to stop them from doing right, wrong, or indifferent.
Right.
They're going to be who they are.
the same thing with guns.
My thing is this, that we don't live in a perfect world.
Nope.
And stuff happens. And unfortunately, until something happens to the people that are making these laws, they don't care which way direction they go in. They just blow, oh, we're going to do this, right? Do you remember when we had that K2 pandemic with the drug, right? And people were falling out in these streets, going crazy. And now drugs had always been a problem. But when K2 hit the wrong neighborhoods, they called it a freaking pandemic.
Exactly.
Okay, they didn't call them drug addicts. They called it a pandemic. And 2.2 seconds later, you never heard about that drug on a high level again, because they wiped the world clean of it, right? So what I'm saying here is, this is literally about rich and poor. It is literally about taking rights away. Okay, so here's the thing: you're never ever going to change your behavior because you did a law. Drugs are illegal. People still take drugs. So, you know what I'm saying? So you're not going to make a law to change your behavior. If you want to change your behavior, you educate the people, and you say, take birth control so you won't get pregnant. Not, oh, if you do get pregnant, we're going to give you the ultimate punishment by telling you can't have a decision after that, and you're going to have a baby, because you're going to increase homelessness. You're going to increase poverty. You're going to increase people doing horrific stuff to themselves to perhaps get rid of this baby without doing it in a safe environment.
Yeah,
Karen, you've been waiting to say something. Go
Oh,
ahead.
no, I just want to say this. I mean,
Can
because
I
I agree with everybody saying, but I just wanted to put this stat out there because I don't want people to come in and think it's a black, white, whatever thing, right? It's a stat from 2019 that it say people who had abortions, 33% of the white out of all abortions, 38% was black, 7% other, 21%, 21% Hispanic, right? So this affects a lot of people. That's why I always go back and say it's discrimination between the rich and the poor. Because do what you want to do. I mean, you know, we can have you have as many kids as you want to if you're poor, because they never feel like you a threat. If that makes sense.
Nina, you've been waiting. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna say this. I'm not even thinking about the abortion part right now, right? I'm thinking about the women's health care.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, I'm 54 years old. I can't bear any children, right? But I have a granddaughter that's 12, that if something happens to her, whether it be she gets, God forbid, somebody rapes her or whatever, she should be able to have a choice into whether she want to have a rapist baby, or how about this? When she goes to have a baby and she's perfectly healthy, but she gets this doctor that says, well, we're going to do a C-section. Well, why, sir? Why should we do a C-section when I'm perfectly healthy to be able to have a vaginal delivery?
More money.
Wait a minute. Because once you open my granddaughter up, and I'm just making it personal, and nothing was wrong with her the whole 9 months, 9.5 months, you open her up. We don't know what you're doing when you go inside of her.
Exactly.
So that's where I'm going. See, I can't have children. So abortion I'm grateful that Roe versus Wade was there, because when I was ready to have an abortion, because I did, and I'm not ashamed of it, because I wasn't ready to have children. So I was grateful that I was able to go in the state of North Carolina and have it without any hesitation. Now, North Carolina is one state that hasn't climbed on board with this, but South Carolina has immediately. South Carolina is one of the 26 states that says it's going into effect immediately. Guess what's going to happen? North Carolina is going to follow right behind, and guess where these people from North Carolina are going to go to? They're going to go to states that, Kansas City, Kansas, to have the abortion, and they're going to do things that's not. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like this. Don't take away my right. Don't get up all in my uterus. You know what I'm saying? Just let my uterus be where it's at.
Yeah.
I just think it goes so more deeper behind more than just having an abortion, because who's to say how many more people have more abortions than the rest? We don't know. We don't know, because I'm gonna tell you, my daughter's girlfriend right now is pregnant. And she wants to have that baby so fast. Guess what she did?
What?
She drank castor oil, so she won't have to carry that baby the whole term. She drank castor oil.
What happened to her?
She ain't went in labor because God took over. Because you gonna wait and have this baby, because what you shouldn't have did was gotten pregnant anyway. You got 5. Why you want to keep having babies? And it's just you. I don't understand it. It goes far. It's so deep. I'm so hurt for my granddaughter right now. I am so hurt for her. That's why I say we have to vote. We have to vote. We have to get and I'm gonna say it. We got to get these old raggedy ass white men out of office with that slave mentality. I'm tired of it.
And Terrence, what's his name? Clarence Thomas.
Well, you can't vote to get Clarence Thomas out of office.
You can't.
That's not going to happen.
No, you can't.
Well, he's for life.
But he needs to. Yeah, but he can step down because he got his wife up there.
He's not going to step down.
He's not going to step down.
I know he's not going to step down, because when all this stuff happened with him and Anita Hill, look what he sent the sister through. You think he gonna? No.
My question is, what happens next?
All the pros willing to adopt the parentless children, no matter the race or medical complications, are the pros willing to adopt. Dom says, Perry, 33% white affects more white women. They are over 60% or 70% of the country.
Yeah, so it affects everybody.
I see people are putting it like making it political in the chat. That is completely wrong. Yes, Republicans say they're pro-life, Democrats say they're pro-choice, but you elected Democrats, but they never made change on the Constitution to codify abortion rights. So we're not going to pull this pro-Republican, pro-Democrat. It doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. It just shows. This is what I'm saying. This thing actually has a good effect too. It's waking people up to realize that they have to do their due diligence and vote, not based off of party. Vote. Look at all the policies, look how they apply to you, and vote which one applies to you the more that you feel more comfortable about. That's what you should be doing.
Come on,
Light curves.
Hey,
sound off. What did you
I
want
have
to?
so many thoughts. First off, why can't we get rid of those people that lied to HR in those confirmation hearings where they said they weren't going to mess with abortion rights?
But the thing is, they didn't mess with it. Mississippi sued, someone in Mississippi sued, and it went up to the Supreme Court because it kept on going past the lower courts. That's what happens. They didn't just overturn abortion and wake up to it. It's something that came up to the court when it happened. That's
No,
what
she's
happened.
saying.
Yeah, go ahead, Sharrell. What am I saying, girl?
You're saying the people the justices that are in place, the ones that said we're going to protect this, why didn't they protect it?
Exactly. And why aren't there repercussions for them lying to HR, basically? If I would have lied on my job interview, they would have fired my ass.
I mean, they say one
well,
thing.
they never lie. If you look at their
they never lie.
interviews during the confirmation hearings,
they
tripped around
they never lied.
They tripped around the conversation. They never said that they were going to go against.
No, you can't say a lie is a lie. Whether you trip around it,
they're lawyers. They're lawyers.
Exactly.
They never said that. They never said that they were going to uphold that particular. They never said they were going to uphold. Exactly. That's my point.
But see, this is what I want to say too. Can I say this right quick? You got to look at President Trump.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. Let me say. He's 4 years in office. Three. Republican.
Three.
That was he knew that was going to vote against this. So this ain't something that just happened yesterday. This was already in play when he was in office.
Yeah.
And then you got to think, how could you? Because you had children. What if one of your wives had did away with one of your children, and then your children, they standing up for this? I don't get it. I don't understand. Make it make sense.
Here's the thing, Nina. President Trump did what he did to protect his way of his rights, the way he thinks things should be. And go ahead.
And look at his history. Who was his daddy?
Right.
Okay.
So,
and you got to think about this too. You got people think, and can I just say this? Can I just say something, Sharrell?
Girl, go lay it on the line.
Okay, people think the KKK is sitting back trying to burn down houses and shit, right? Nah, they your doctors, they your lawyers, they your politicians, they your police. That's what they did. They went out and got these education to make these laws. They still sitting up there looking at us in our face and telling us what we can and cannot do with our bodies. What's his name? Mitch McConnell. He needs to go.
But why are we upset? Seriously, why are we upset?
Because
in 2016, we set our black at home.
That's what I was
and said Hillary Clinton is a piece of and not worth voting for. And we said Donald Trump we're going to let him be president. So guess what he did? He got 3 justices in the Supreme Court.
Exactly.
So why are we sitting here screaming to the top of our lungs, upset about this? This is what happens when we sit home and sit on our blessed assurance and not vote. So comments, calm down.
Can I say this though? Yeah, just like there are a lot of campaigns and a lot of money and effort went into making sure everybody voted for Obama, right? So it's what's unfortunate with our community sometimes, I'm not saying 100%, you know, they know how to get together for a moment. They don't know how to stay together.
That's
And
right.
so that's where we fall short, right? You know, we could get all worked up, but we gotta vote for Obama, but we gotta vote continuously, right? So I always vote. And the thing is though, if we put our minds together and stick together, and I'm talking about everybody, right? Change can happen. So even though they did this right now, if every single female and everyone else who cared about this decision that has happened, because listen, you know, the nose are turned up now about, you know, this law, like, oh, this one shouldn't do it, shouldn't do it. But I guarantee you this, Sharrell, it's somebody, everybody, there's somebody, mother, sister, cousin, little niece that has to go through or went through this particular situation.
Exactly.
You said something real important, Nina. I mean, Diva. We all came out and we voted for Obama, but no one voted the mid-elections.
Yep.
Exactly.
Nope.
They just did it.
It's not just the mid-elections, it's your local elections too. You got to start way down.
Right.
And vote for that. See, and then you got to think all these you know how many basketball players and football players have never voted?
Right.
So if we don't vote, do we have the right to be banned?
Absolutely not.
No.
But the thing is, guys, you guys have to acknowledge it.
I think they still do.
Let me say this really quick.
You guys are not
let me say this really quick before Dom says no. It affects whites more. All Black women could have an abortion, and there would still be more white women having one at 33%. We are only 13% of the country. There are many millions more of them.
Well, you know, I'm not taking this law as a black or white thing, Sharrell. I'm taking this law as a rich or poor thing.
Yeah.
Okay, because listen, when you got money, you got access to do whatever, however, whatever. Just like right now, people that got money, they don't care about them gas prices. They may be like it's too high, but it's not impacting them the way it's impacting poor people.
But Diva, I have another thing to say about that, about the gas prices and stuff. The thing is, I do not think people will vote pro-choice people due to the fact of the abortion situation. I feel like more people are going to vote in a different way because of how the economy is being handled right now. That's how people are going to vote more. Because when you look at the polls, more Americans care about how much money that's coming out of their pocket than an abortion.
Not a thing.
Right. But I'll go say this real quick, Sharrell. I mean, the only reason I gave you that people that stat, I didn't want people to think it was a white and black thing.
Yeah,
that was
it's
the
a
only
rich
reason
report
why.
thing. Yeah,
Right.
It's definitely a rich report thing.
I think
you wanted to say something because I got to bring up more.
I think also that this is an inroad to the other non-constitutional rights that have become in place, like the 1963 Civil Rights Act that directly affects Black people and therefore encompass the white women and LGBTQ. And so those are the rights that we're going to have to worry about next.
Exactly.
If they're coming for wombs in our face, imagine what they're discussing behind closed doors to attack next. You know what I'm saying? And if you go to congress.gov/bill, you will see that they had 48 other actions on the books to vote on yesterday, and they're not even talking about that stuff. So this is also a form of distraction, because if they're telling us about something so very upsetting and polarizing, imagine what they're working on without telling us. Okay,
right? Curves, bring it, Curves.
All right, Curves and Flakes, I'm going to drop you guys. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate the call.
Thanks.
Okay, let me see, because I got a long line.
Sharrell, do you have any pro-life people in your backstage?
I don't know.
It's important that we have other opinions, you know.
Let me see. Hi, Erica. How are you?
I'm good. How y'all?
What did you want to add to the conversation?
I agree with Perry. I think it's a rich versus poor thing. I think we're about to go into a major recession in the talks, and if we have people that are underprivileged that can't get abortions, we make money off of that. We make money off. They figure how many prisons they're going to open by going into urban communities and getting test scores from third graders. So they're preparing for the next generation of working class or underclass. And I think, like Diva said, it's not going to affect everybody. If I want to go get if somebody has the means, they're going to travel 5, 6, 7 states to get an abortion.
So
So it's
you
really a
agree
rich and poor thing.
it's going to affect the poor
Yes,
more than the rich.
100%.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's Lisa, sound off really quick.
I'm gonna tell you like this right here. I'm gonna tell you, I can't go into full detail because I've been there. I'm sat in the room. Not easy. Not easy. But you don't have the right to tell me that I do not have that right. You don't own my body. And in the words of Mother Joyce on the Real Housewives, this is my vagina. It's not yours. You want to infiltrate. It's my business. Like you were telling me about that woman had that 7 abortions. I'm gonna tell you something. It's not your business. It's between her moral, her God, and her God. Believe me, when I made that decision, I had to make a decision. And I can't go into it. I wish I could go into it.
Let me ask you this, Lisa. Did you vote?
Yeah, I vote all the time. I vote all the time. That's why I was telling y'all. In 2020 election, that's why they mad now. Because don't you remember? He got mad. They got mad at Fulton County right here in Georgia because it was completely black that voted for Biden.
No, in your midterm elections and the off election.
I'm your midterm. I'm for 2020 president election. They came out and they voted for him. They voted for Biden. They did not vote for Trump. There's a lot of people who didn't vote for Trump this time around.
But I was gonna.
And I must tell you something. This is the flood. This the beginning. They finna overturn a lot of mess. And I don't know how the hell them sitting on Supreme Court to be so morally high when they got a sex offender and a sexual harasser sitting up there in a sexual harasser.
Come on, Lisa.
Was involved in turning over 2020.
Who are you talking about?
Clarence Thomas, maybe.
Clarence Thomas and that man. He was accused of.
You're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
Kavanaugh.
Yeah, can you sit up there be so morally high ground? You can. I'm gonna tell you something. And these rich men, they gonna benefit.
Yeah.
Because they missions gonna get them abortions.
Well, you're right. You're right.
And I'm just saying, you don't have the right to come in my life, in my private life, and tell me what not to do with my body.
Well, and guess what it is now, Lisa?
I'm still thinking. I'm kind of see how can I sue the United States government, because now you are interfering with my life.
Yeah.
What I do, it's not affecting you.
You want to sue the United States government?
Yeah.
No, she got a good thing going on right there, Sharrell. Maybe every female should put a class action lawsuit and sue them. I want to say this to you, Lisa. I'm glad you mentioned this. And, thanks for trusting, the Sharrell show to even say that. And I'm going to say this, Sharrell. Many women do not go in there making that decision lightly. Their back is up against the wall. They feel lost. They feel like they have no one else. I have seen some of these women and it will break your heart. Okay. So all of them are not using it as a form of birth control. Some of these women are really, their back is up against a wall.
Selena, sound off really quickly because I'm running out of time. Selena, can you hear me? You're on mute. Okay. What did you want to add very quickly?
I just wanted to talk about Caesar from Black Ink.
Okay, go ahead.
And when I went to Harlem to go see how it looked like in person, it does not look like nothing like the TV show. Like it's all like it looks very regular. It looks like a regular little tattoo shop. And none of them be doing tattoos. They all just be sitting there chilling.
That's what Diva just said. You just said that, Diva. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Sharrell, can I say one thing before you get off the line?
Please.
Another thing that was brought to my attention today with me and my cousins, we have a cousins chat, and we all ladies, we was talking about the Plan B, and one of my cousins is a registered nurse, which she has, she's up there. And she said, well, I think that something should be done because they come in here eating these Plan Bs like they candy. I was so flabbergasted at her saying that because what that still don't make it right for these 6 judges to say that I can't get a Plan B if I, if because mistakes happen, and
I wanted to ask you this, Nina. I want you to address this comment. I love Obama, but he did not make Ruth Ginsburg retire, which created a vacuum for the conservative court we have now. She's right. What do you say to that?
I don't say anything to that. Why should he have to make her retire? That's a lifelong position. Why should she have to retire?
To protect our way of life. If you wanted to be pro-life,
see, and
the smartest move is to
that
go
would not have not have mattered because
no,
Obama had a judge up for to go into the Supreme Court when he was president, and Mitch McConnell held that position for Trump.
Yep.
So if Ruth Bader Ginsburg retired, that would have been 2 judges held up for the next president.
And Trump
so that last comment was null and void. Thanks.
That's what I was ready to say with this guy that just was talking. When you talk about pro-life, you got to talk about a whole lot of stuff when it comes to pro-life. I say pro-choice. That's what I believe in my rights and my choice. Give me a choice because a lot of times people don't give you choices. You think about the pandemic. People don't give you choices. You think about the HIV and AIDS epidemic. It was a pandemic. People didn't give choices. Give me a choice. Whether I want to carry a baby or not. I wouldn't have no more babies in this world. I'm about ready to give up my citizenship and go to Canada.
I want to end this with you, Lisa. Say your last words.
But I'm gonna say you like this right here. Sharrell, you not know I haven't drunk no liquor in about 5 months. Baby, this day made me pick up my liquor bottle. Okay, I'm gonna tell you like this on him. Don't nobody got the right to tell nobody how to live their lives. And see, they finna, like I said, they finna overturn. You don't have the right. The government don't have the right to come in our lives and turn our life upside down. They do not. And I wish I could really get into it, sure, because I like telling stories. Because I like the other women, the other girls out there, the feedback out what I'm talking about. Okay, this is the beginning, and they gonna do it. They finna overturn a lot of stuff. Number one, they did this because they did it now because that black woman finna ready to come in. They did it now. She haven't made. Even though she got a seat right there, it's not her time. Her seat she finna get that seat. They did this before she came up in there.
What's her name? Diva Yeah, I know you.
They did this before she came up in there.
Yeah.
Because they already know how she was gonna vote, but now you got 2. Now you're gonna have 3 minority women on there. Because right now you got 2 Latino women judges. And Miss Thompson and Miss Jackson gonna make another minority, and see they're gonna make 3. That's what I'm talking about. They did this stuff before she got up in there, and don't nobody even understand this stuff. This stuff is it gonna go bigger and bigger. That's why I'm telling y'all, get y'all asses out in November, out and vote. I'm gonna tell you, I say this, Sharrell, because Marguerite Green Taylor, I voted for her. I thought when she was out there, when I seen her ass and stuff, I believe in something she was saying. That's why I vote for her. But when I see her on TV comparing January the 6th rioters to George Floyd, who died on the street corner with a police officer, oh hell no! You got to get the hell up out of my goddamn state office. I'm not voting for you no more. That's what I said. What is wrong with that woman?
Okay, I want to thank everybody. This is passionate. I want to thank everybody sharing their stories and saying how they feel. And I was open to anybody too that was on the opposing side to come up. This is just the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's going to be.
It is just the beginning, and y'all get out there and vote in November.
And if you don't believe in abortions, don't have one.
That's right.
That's right.
Right.
You said it just right.
That part.
Sharrell, keep your platform going because it needs to be more conversation along with education going on. You know, we need Diva up there, the nurse. We need y'all. We need y'all to help educate us more on the laws and what's happening behind the scenes as well.
Amen.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much.
Y'all have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful weekend.
Thank you, Lisa.
Love
Again.
y'all. Have a good weekend.
Don't keep pulling that stuff this weekend.
No, I ain't
he'll be there at 6:30, Lisa.
I'm ready to get fired up in a few minutes.
Okay. Bye,
I'm
guys.
coming on, Perry.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
This was a powerful show. I mean, people have their opinions, and this is just the beginning. It's deep.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know.
We'll keep trying to get all sides. It's a mess. I save my opinions for last. I believe you, Perry. It's a poor and rich thing, and it's crazy. So I wish I could find somebody that believes that today's was a victory. Maybe I'll try to get my local. Oh, I have an idea. I'll try to get someone on that really. I want to hear what they think. I want to hear their side. I just
Right.
Okay, I want to thank everyone for your super chats. You don't have to support the channel, and you do, so I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Please don't forget to click that like button so as many people as we can to get to watch this video and tell their side of the story. Conversation sparks change. It really does.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry if I didn't get to your calls backstage. I am completely out of time. I actually went over a half hour. So thank you guys so much. And until next time, on 3, guys, let's say bye. 1, 2, 3. Bye, guys.